Next idea is about location of roots. Location of roots means what? See, location of roots. That means we are locating the exact position of roots. Actually, where you will get those roots? Where are the roots? See, the roots are just simply nothing but the values of x for the quadratic expression. Values of x will lie on x-axis. So, location of roots in the sense we are going to locate the position of roots alpha comma beta on x-axis. See, on x-axis it's a number line. X-axis is a number line. On this number line, the roots alpha comma beta may lie at any different positions, right? So, if the position is specified with respect to some given constants, then we are going to derive the conditions. Okay, that's what I mentioned here. See, basically, if we have an expression like a square x square plus bx plus c is equals to 0, whose roots are alpha beta, and now we are going to derive conditions when location of roots is specified on the number line. On the number line on x-axis, if the roots location is specified, if the question specifies, if anybody specifies the location of roots, then we are going to derive the conditions. Actually, we are not going to locate the position of roots. If the location of roots is given, then we are going to derive the conditions. We are going to analyze the graph. Deriving conditions is possible only through the graph. Okay, so deriving conditions when location of roots is specified on number line using graphs or by analyzing the graph of the expression. Okay, so how can they specify the position or location of the roots on number line, and how can we derive the conditions? We will derive the conditions in all different cases. So these are the 6 major cases. Okay, not only these 6, you may face some other different situations also, but these are the major 6 cases. In these 6 cases, one by one we are going to derive the conditions. After deriving the conditions, one by one, for each and every case, I will give you one example problem and we are going to solve them. Okay, right. So it may take 1 or 2 classes actually to complete the total concept of location of roots. Right. So at present, first of all, I am mentioning the all different cases while locating the position. See, since the roots are alpha comma beta, they are on the number line. See, if the question says that the roots are less than a number k. See, if both the roots alpha beta less than a number k is the first condition. If both the roots are greater than a specified given number k is the second condition. If the roots are either side of the given specified condition. Okay, see, both the roots are either side of some given constant value, that is the third condition. And if both the roots are either side of two particular numbers k1 k2, okay, k1 k2 are any two given constants. Okay, the roots alpha beta are either side of those constants, this is the fourth condition. And if alpha beta are in between those constants, okay, and if k1 less than alpha less than k2 less than beta, what I am saying is, if this is the x-axis, somewhere on x-axis alpha beta will lie. Okay, so for suppose if the question says that k is a number which is right side of this alpha beta, this is first condition. If the question says k is a number which is left side of alpha beta, that is the second condition. If the question says k is a number in between alpha beta, is the third condition. If the question says alpha beta are in, see, k1 and k2 are two numbers which are in between alpha beta, so that is the fourth condition. And if alpha beta are in between k1 and k2, k1 here, k2 here, in between alpha beta are located, that is the fifth condition. If alpha less than k1 less than some k2, and then we will have beta like this. Okay, alpha k1 k2 beta. No. See, the seventh condition is like this, k1 alpha k2 beta. If the order of these four numbers on x-axis is like this, then that is the seventh condition. See, these conditions are given in the question. Using this situation, using this location, we are going to derive what? Different conditions. Okay, that's what we are going to do, and I will mention all different conditions now, and then I will solve the problems. Have a look. So now we are going to derive conditions, okay, different conditions when the location of the roots is given with respect to a given constants, okay. And before going to derive the conditions, one thing I am going to tell you is, no need to memorize all these conditions. You just analyze the conditions. I am repeating, analyze the situation, don't memorize the conditions, okay. Why? Because if you analyze the situation, then for each and every problem we are going to do the same analyzation, then automatically you will get the conditions, okay. But if you try to memorize the conditions, see, there are many conditions, and automatically you will forget all those things in solving the problems, okay. So give much importance for the analyzation of the situation instead of memorizing the derived conditions, okay. That was a clear instruction, right? So now equation, expression, roots alpha beta, and that alpha beta are less than k. First idea is I am going to observe the graph, and how can I draw the graph? See, either it may be upward parabola or it may be downward parabola. It is just depending on the value of a. But here we don't know a also, okay. And one situation is this. See, look there. See, somewhere on x-axis alpha is here, okay, beta is here, and k is here. Alpha is smaller, beta is then smaller, and then k, okay. I don't know whether the graph is upward or downward, so I need to analyze the situation in two different possibilities, okay. Alpha less than beta less than k. So if the graph is an upward parabola, okay, if the graph is an upward parabola, graph will be like this. This is the graph of the given expression. If the graph is a downward parabola, then this is the situation, right? It passes through the roots, right? Say exactly parabolic shape we need to draw, okay? Not like this, it's an exact parabola. Okay? So whenever this upward parabola will happen, upward parabola happens if a greater than 0, downward parabola happens at a less than 0. Right? And one more thing from the graph I need to notify is, see, if this is k, right? Corresponding to k, I will have one point here, right? Can you mention that point, okay? What is that point? For this point, x value is k and y value is f of k. Because f of x, y is equals to f of x, actually we say it like f of x. So f of x is equals to y is equals to ax square plus bx plus c. At k, the graphical value is f of k. And similarly at this k, the point on the graph is again what? K comma f of k. This is the graph. Simply this is the situation, right? Is there anything doubt for you? Is there anything confusion? I think very clear, okay? Just I sketched the graph. I have two possibilities, maybe upward, maybe downward. Now I am going to give you the conditions in the first case, okay? Right. What are the conditions in the first case? As I mentioned you, totally there are 6 types, 6 situations, and in this first situation, what are the conditions? See, the graph ax square plus bx plus c has what? 2 roots, right? Since the graph has 2 roots, for sure delta greater than 0. This is the first condition. And the second condition is, see, in between alpha and beta, I will have a peak point, right, at minus b by 2a. Minima point or maxima point, as we know, right? Minima point or maxima point is there at minus b by 2a, and that minus b by 2a value surely less than k. Because alpha beta are less than k, so minus b by 2a is also less than k. This is the first condition, and the second condition is minus b by 2a less than k. As I mentioned, you don't memorize. Try to analyze the graphs and write the conditions. That's enough. See, writing the condition is enough by analyzing the graph, but no need to memorize, okay? Right. Discriminant is greater than 0, minus b by 2a is less than k. So 2 conditions are completed. Coming to the other conditions, here k and the point is k comma f of k. What to say about this f of k? Since it is above x-axis, f of k is positive. Since it is below x-axis, f of k is negative. Here just observe it. What is a? Positive. What is f of k? Positive. Here observe it. What is a? Negative. And the below x-axis the point is there. What is f of k? Negative. A negative, f of k negative. And here a positive, f of k positive. So in both the situations, if you multiply a into f of k and that is positive, this is the third condition. There is the problem. There is the problem, right? So if anybody asks you, whenever this quadratic expression has two roots which are less than a constant k, two roots are less than a constant k, then what you say? It will happen if discriminant greater than 0 and minus b by 2a less than k, as well as a into f of k greater than 0. These are the three conditions for the first case. Likewise, we need to derive the conditions for each and every case. That's enough just by observing the graph. That's it. Okay. So as it is a first problem, first situation, so I analyzed it slowly and in deeply, right? So for the remaining, automatically you will give the answers. You will give the conditions, right? This is the first one. Have a look. So the second condition is k less than alpha less than beta. So again we have two possibilities, either upward parabola or downward parabola, we don't know. K alpha beta and k alpha beta. Upward parabola, so the graph will be like this. Downward parabola, the graph will be like this. Okay, you just take it as beta, no problem, right? And now again the conditions. What you say about the conditions? First condition, discriminant is greater than 0 because two roots are there. Second condition, the peak point, minima point is minus b by 2a, and here also the maxima point minus b by 2a, and that point is what? Greater than k. For the previous case, first case, minus b by 2a is less than k, and this second case, this minus b by 2a is right side of k, that means greater than k. The third condition, this is k, right? For this k, what you say about its f of k? This length is f of k, actually y coordinate of the point, that is positive, and for this is k and its corresponding f of k is there on the graph. This length is f of k and the point is k comma f of k. Since it is below x axis, f of k is negative. And here again upward parabola happens at a greater than 0. Downward parabola happens at a less than 0. Look there, a negative, f of k negative. Look here, a positive, f of k positive. The next condition is a into f of k greater than 0. So for the first case as well as the second case, the conditions are similar except the second one. In the first case, minus b by 2a less than k. In this case, minus b by 2a greater than k. There ends the situation. So these are the conditions. Okay. I am moving for the third situation. Okay. You first analyze the situation, right? So these are the conditions. Next, the first case is alpha beta are less than k. Second case is alpha beta are greater than k. Third case is alpha beta are in between k. Alpha less than k less than beta. So when you try to sketch the graph, here it is alpha, here it is beta, k and somewhere beta. Again in the same way, here it is alpha, somewhere here it is k and here it is beta. In one situation the graph is upward parabola. In the other situation, the graph is downward parabola. Upward parabola may be like this. Downward parabola may be like this. Okay. So, what you say about the conditions? The first condition is that discriminant is greater than 0 because two roots exist. The second condition, minus b by 2a. Somewhere peak point will be there here, but k is in between alpha and beta. K is in between alpha and beta. Minus b by 2a is also in between alpha and beta, but we don't know the connection between those two numbers, whether less than or greater than. In previous two cases it is very clear, okay, but here not possible. But here at k, what you say about the point? This length is f of k, as I said. This point is k and this length is f of k. F of k is negative, but a is greater than 0 because upward parabola. And in this case, a is less than 0, downward parabola, and f of k is above the x-axis. So a positive, f of k is downward, negative. A negative, f of k is upward, positive. So a into f of k is negative in this case. So there ends. These two are the conditions. So if the roots are either side of a constant k, then the conditions are delta greater than 0 and a into f of k less than 0. Okay. There ends the conditions for the third case. Then coming to the fourth case. In each and every case, we need to analyze the graphs in two possible ways. Once upward, once downward. And we need to finalize the conditions by observing those two graphs. Okay. Fourth one. As I mentioned you, the fourth case is nothing but alpha less than K1 less than K2 less than beta. In between alpha and beta, there are two numbers K1 and K2. You just look there. So somewhere here alpha is there, and here K1 is there, and here K2, and here beta. Okay. And again somewhere here alpha, and here K1, okay, K2, and then beta. Okay. So if you try to sketch the graph, maybe upward, this is possible at a greater than 0. Maybe downward, this is possible at a less than 0. Okay. Next one. Coming to the conditions, first condition is delta greater than 0 because two roots are there. Second condition, what you say about f of k1? See, previously there is only one constant k and its graphical point, graphical value, expression value, y value, f of k, everything is same and we are locating that. But here we have 2 points k1 and k2. Here f of k1 below x-axis, negative. F of k2 below x-axis, negative. Look there. This length is nothing but f of k1. Okay. As I mentioned you, this point is k1, but this length is f of k1. Okay. Length in the sense the y coordinate of the point. The point is k1 comma f of k1. Since it is below x-axis, it is negative. So f of k1 is negative. A is positive. So when you multiply, you will get a negative sign. A is negative. F of k1 is positive. When you multiply, you will get negative sign. So a into f of k1 is negative, as well as a into f of k2 is also negative. These are the conditions. There is the situation. These are the conditions, okay? In this situation, these are the conditions. We need to link those two according to the problem, okay? This is the fourth case. I am repeating, you just analyze the graphs and then analyze the situations, not try to memorize the conditions, okay? Right. So now the fifth one. Fifth one is what? Fifth one is what? The previous case, K1, K2 are in between alpha 1 and alpha 2, alpha beta. Here K1 is less than, alpha beta is less than K2. So alpha beta are the numbers in between K1 and K2. Again, what are the possible graphs? In the first case, here it is K1, here it is alpha, here it is beta, and somewhere I have K2. That's the first possibility. Upward parabola. Next one. Here it is K1, here it is alpha, here it is beta, and here it is K2. Now, maybe upward or maybe downward. Upward in the sense the graph passes through alpha beta. Downward means the graph like this. So here in this case, A is greater than 0. Here in this case, A is less than 0. When coming to the conditions, what you will say? The first condition is that delta is greater than 0 because two roots exist. Coming to the second condition, at K1, the graph is above x-axis, f of K1 positive. At K2, the graph is above x-axis, f of K2 is also positive. A positive, f of K1 positive. So A into f of K1 positive. The same thing happens here also. A negative, at K1 graph negative. Okay. At K1 the graph negative, right? So f of K1 negative. Negative into negative is positive. And another condition, A into f of K2 is also positive. And then I will get one more condition, because surely I have a chance to locate this minus b by 2a. Minus b by 2a is in between K1 and K2, because there is a surety of that, and that's why I am mentioning that. One more condition is K1 less than minus b by 2a less than K2. Okay, just have a look. These are the conditions. Okay, delta greater than 0, a into f of K1 greater than 0, a into f of K2 greater than 0, K1 less than minus b by 2a less than K2. That is the fifth case, and I have just one more situation, that is the sixth one. In each and every situation, just I am analyzing the graphs and I am writing the conditions. If one situation is very clear for you, then that clarity will give you, see, the confidence and analyzation for each and everything. Okay. So first of all, try to analyze any one case clearly. Right. Whereas as I mentioned, the sixth case is simply nothing but K1 is less than, alpha is less than, K2 is less than beta. Again I have two possibilities. The order of these numbers are K1, alpha, K2 and beta. and maybe downward or maybe upward, right? In both the cases I have the same conditions, k1 alpha, k2 beta. The first case, the graph is upward parabola passing through alpha and beta. The second case, graph is downward parabola passing through alpha and beta. This is happens at a greater than 0, this is happens at a less than 0. And while trying to write the conditions, since two roots have delta is greater than 0. The second one, at k1 the graph is above x-axis positive, okay? A positive, k1 at k1 positive. So I will write it like this, a into f of k1 positive. Here also a negative, f of k1 negative, okay? So the product is positive. Next one, a into f of k2 negative, I will say. Why? Because look there, at k2 the graph is negative. At k2 the graph is below x-axis negative and a positive. A into f of k2 negative, positive, negative. Here again a negative, f of k2 positive. As I mentioned, this is f of k2. At this point the coordinates are k2 comma f of k2. This f of k2 is y coordinate of the point which is above x-axis. For sure it is positive. This is positive and a negative. The product is negative. And at the end, these are the conditions for the sixth case. So we have 6 different situations related to the position of the roots, location of the roots, and in all those 6 situations, just we are writing the conditions by analyzing the graphs. And I will discuss different problems related to all these things in the next classes. Okay.